And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Proficiency Bonus here at Monday night. So, as we continue on our journeys here at We Met in a Tavern. Before we jump into what's going on and what's happened last time, a couple of quick people we want to give some thanks to Streamlabs, Twitch, Many-Sided Dice, forgetting Team MZ, and our favorite friends over at Little Dragon Corp. If you haven't checked them out yet, in the chat, type in !Little Dragon. It'll pull up their little blurb on their website and also give you a discount code, BONUS. Good for 10% off your order. They've got a lot of great dice, tabletop accessories. Check out their elemental dice. They've started putting the resin ones are available for sale now on their website. So definitely check that out if you're looking for that gamer in your life, gift for the holiday season. And definitely check them out. You can save 10% too. So before we jump over to our party, we will run real quick through what happened through our last couple of sessions here. Our group had made their way to deal with what they expected to be was just a very large turtle called Jokaser, the Eater of Things, that had been harassing their most recent town of birth. As the party proceeded to have a couple of conversations with some of these giant turtles, comes to find out that there's a larger one under the water, which comes up and tells them, oh no, I'm still just a little fish, there's a bigger one. Our party proceeded to go back, speak with Captain Breslin, and it was decided they'd take one of the longboats into the beast and try to resolve the issue. The party went through it, managed to eke out a battle against a couple of half-humanoid, half-shark creatures, and then made their way out of said turtle following the natural course, so to speak. On their path through, they managed to catch up to the one other humanoid shark that had escaped with a magical item that Lydia had seen glowing. Through some very quick thinking from Jack and a couple of well-placed shots from her hand cannons, you managed to destroy the ladder they were climbing up on, causing men and shark creatures to rain onto the ground below. At the end of the battle, after 2 out of the 3 people had been slain, our party had a conversation with Hara, the surviving sharkman, and the decision was made that they would leave together and go speak with the captain. As they made their way the rest of the way out of said massive creature, they came out of the rear entranceway and found a leather, what appeared to be balloon, sort of stapled down to the back of the turtle. As it had captured a pocket of air, the party was not immediately rushed with water. They discussed how to resolve detaching it and getting up without drowning, when Hara gracefully offered to let them just sort of hold on to the ropes inside this balloon as what he had used to bring his party down, and he would detach it. As he started to detach it and rip the last 2 out, giving a little wave, having no intention of joining their party on this, what he viewed to be a suicide run to their ship, Jack fired off one last shot as they made their way to the surface and back to the ship. Our party has gone to town, managed to squeak out a little extra gold from the, we'll call him the mayor, and then went to go have dinner and discuss what their next moves would be, and proceeded to actually run into the crazy old mage. As Jack proceeded to have an interesting conversation and offered some information for some gold. Sorry, your viewers at home can't see that yet. As Jack gave some information and was able to squeak out another 1,500 gold out of the crazy old mage, our party then discussing where they were heading to next. And with that, we will jump over to said party, but I am going to quickly change my screen real quick as to, spoilers. And we will jump over here. As you can see, our party is all with us now. We are currently missing Paris, so Art is going to be on Roleplay Light for the moment. Barry, I hope you're doing okay. I haven't heard from them as of yet. So, and don't forget, we will mention that Art and Lydia have the nat 20s this week. So, hold on, let me just jump over and make sure my memory is right. I'm sorry, no, it is Lydia and Bitter Jack who have the nat 20s this week. Yep. So we are going to pop that one on and get this dragged over so we're on a different screen so our viewers at home can see the map you guys are looking at. So again, we're just going to leave that spot open. Hopefully Art gets to join us soon. If not, we'll be running Art very late tonight. So with that being said, Marty, the story is yours. Last we left, you were finishing up a meal, getting ready to head back to the ship for a night's rest before heading south towards Caer Westfall, the capital of Snowdown. Actually, what I'm going to do, rather than leave you on this jumbo monstrosity, we are going to shift you over here. Bring you to a... hopefully this is not... It's all grayed out. No, it's not. Okay. So you guys are currently, where this is a slightly different map than you are used to, you guys are currently up here on this little... No, don't turn on Fog of War. Ping. There we go. You guys are up here, the northern point of this little peninsula on Mintarn currently. Based on what you were told by Hara, you know that your next port of call, assuming you're following the information you were provided, would be down here on the southeastern side of Snowdown, the capital of Caer Westfall. Based on the... Oh, thank you. Welcome to Proficiency Bonus, where the DM forgets to unmute the party yet again. As you know, what else is new? Okay, so let me check here. Just gonna measure out some distances. I spent some time so the distances are accurate. We'll just make this 130. I'm just gonna ballpark this for you. So that's 170, so that's 300. 340, so say about 350 miles. Let me look at your ship right quick. Okay, so given that distance, probably about a 3-day journey.
It's not bad.
No, it's... assuming that the wind stays with you, you guys can go about 120 miles in a day.
Well, if we sort of finished our business in this tavern, and I mean, Furious had 2 plates of food, she's ready to
Furious
head
had a
back to
couple
the
of plates.
ship.
I think Snowmoon's had a couple of plates.
Yeah, he has.
Jack had her comically oversized glass of French beverage.
Yeah, so she's, standing up and getting ready to leave, going back to the ship.
Yeah, Snowmoon pays up his tab with the barman and starts to head for the door as well.
Easy enough. As you guys are starting to set up again, it's very sort of quiet in this place. It's really only been the group of you and the crazy old mage. You do see, as you're getting up, a couple of scraps of paper that are... Jack, you'd probably be the first one to notice this, where you ran over to that table. Underneath the table where you and the old mage had been sitting, there are a couple of scraps of paper. Look like little balled up, like...
Alright, I guess I'll go and investigate.
You pick them up, you start to unfold them. And it's a couple of names you can see written on the front of the page. One of them is Gwyneth. One is Grun. And the other is Canthrell.
Okay.
Given everyone's general knowledge, looking at those, you'd know that they are areas within the Sea of Moonshade and the Moonshade Isles. There's no other information on it, just those 3 names.
All right. She'll bring this over to the rest of the party. She kind of holds it up. She says, "It is perhaps left behind by the crazy old man. He is writing names of areas in the Isles. I do not know why."
Were you talking to William?
Just the group in general.
No.
I don't know.
She shrugs.
Maybe where he wanted to travel on his turtle?
Yeah, perhaps.
Did he know anything about these orbs that we're looking for? Do we know?
I did not ask him about the orbs. I thought it best to keep that information what is only for us.
Private? Secret?
Private, yes. Jack just sort of shrugs and folds the paper up and kind of puts it into her, into her tunic. She says, perhaps just the scribblings of a crazy man and his dreams of turtle carriage, but perhaps come in handy later. I will keep.
Seems like
you're muted if you're talking.
Yeah, I was. What else is new? Mute the party, mute yourself. Hey, how you doing? Pay the toll. So it seems like as you guys are wrapping up and start heading back to the ship, as you guys walk out of the tavern, go ahead and everyone make a perception check for me.
Perception check.
Okay,
That's not great.
I have to roll immersion for a minute and go under my screen here. I just realized I left my dang dice in there afterward.
Oh, dear.
It's no good.
Uh-oh.
13 for Jack.
Okay.
I got a 17.
I got a 22.
24.
Okay. So, everyone except for Jack, you had a 13, right?
13.
Okay. Yeah, so everyone except for Jack notices as you guys are coming out. Over off in the north, as you guys are heading towards the dock, you see another, what appears to be another gathering. Looks like a very small, very dark cloud. But again, like one that some of you have seen before, this is moving very rapidly to the west.
Where are we in relation to Snowdown?
So Snowdown is down
Moonshade?
in the south. You guys are up at Mintarn right now.
Mintar.
Oop, I still got my thing so I can
Oh,
shift
okay.
over.
I see.
You guys are up here.
Oh, moving to the west. So in the direction of like.
In the direction of what you have all been advised is home to a rather money-hungry dragon who lives in Scotterock.
Oh.
Not all that far to the north. Tends to stay home. The locals tend to send their, we'll call it tithe to him. Sort of pay tribute, and he leaves people alone for the most part.
I noticed nothing. I'm too busy counting my huge sack of gold.
Is that going in the party pile or? I just don't know what you decided to do last episode.
Oh, that's right. You weren't here.
I can't hear Sarah.
We didn't decide what to do with it, as it was sort of Jack's haul there.
And I don't know if the party actually knows about it.
I was just gonna say, I don't think we know yet that Jack has it.
Yeah, Jack went over, talked with them, and then came over. And then...
Well, he had
it wasn't
planned it out.
subtle. I mean, they know.
Yeah.
She,
Okay.
I was waiting for the opportunity. So if back at this point, she is gonna she has this 2 pouches or whatever, and she begins doling out coin to everybody. So she gives, based on what she got off of the old man, she gives everybody 250 gold pieces.
It's good.
And she sort of kind of starts handing these out, and she says, "It is always to be fair for those involved in what is you help me to translate my pitch to Crazy Man and it earn gold, so you are deserve equal share. It is the code. It is the way of those who live on the life of the sea.
Am I degenerate of you?
I cannot hear her. Am I the only one who can't hear Sarah at all?
I can hear
I
her.
can
Okay.
barely hear Sarah.
Oh, really? Okay, let me turn my volume up. Let me give you a second to do that.
Yeah, if you go into Discord, right-click on Sarah's name, you can turn the user volume up if that'll help.
Sorry, guys.
I'm old, so I always have her turned up. I have quite a few you turned up.
Alright. I have Sarah bumped to 200% volume.
Oh, okay. Let's check.
I can sort of hear her now.
Yeah,
what did
she's
Lydia
a
say?
little
I said, that's my degeneracy of you, Jack.
She just sort of kind of nods. She says, "It is how it should be. Everyone should be receive equal. This is, however, not business of the ship or the captain. It is our own, and thus I share with you, and with only you."
Understood.
And thank you. I really did not expect that.
She sort of shrugs. She says, "Hey, I do not need all of this." She kind of gestures to her, her relatively plain clothes and sort of simple accoutrement, and she's like, "What is it I need all this gold for? It is only little that I need. Better to share with those who will travel with me."
My sister is very pragmatic.
Snow Moon just nods his head to Jack, kind of in response, and that's really all.
Right then, ship?
Sheep.
Yes, let's go.
As you guys easy enough to make your way back to the docks and onto the ship. Basically, you've got the night to look forward to. Anything anyone would be doing during the evening's rest before?
As long as the night is clear, Jack's up in the crow's nest.
Okay.
I would be trying out different forms of fish that I see in the harbor area for about an hour or two, just for fun. Now that I've finally figured out how to do that, but for the other half of the night, I would be sleeping down below.
Okay, do me a favor, roll a d20 for me.
16.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. So as you proceed to come down and again you find some basic close to shore fish. Now you see a couple of looks to be like minnows, a little small, almost like bait fish that people would catch to go out deeper and catch bigger fish. Have a little fun swimming back and forth, just feeling the water over your gills, and the new way of breathing is probably a very odd sensation for you.
Yep.
But after probably about an hour and a half or so, you start to see some larger fish starting to come in. And as you're swimming around watching, you see, something pop up and boom. Just a couple of the small ones that you were looking at disappear. Thinking probably getting to be a good time to head back up.
Yeah, I really don't want to be swallowed again. So, yeah, I would pop back out.
You make your way back up top. Anything anyone else would be doing this evening?
No.
Okay. So as the night moves on, Jack, it's a beautiful, clear night. I don't have my... Give me a second. Let me find my calendar. I suppose I had it when I sent it earlier to someone, but not have it in front of me when I should. So I'm just going to say, because I don't have it in front of me at the moment, I don't believe it's a full moon, so you're getting some moonlight, get some decent visibility where it's a clear night with the stars and moon, but I don't notice much going on other than it's the nice evening, the nice night. As eventually everyone takes their rest, settles down for the night. You awake to, Captain ringing the bell up on deck, getting people moving to leave with the tide, heading down towards Snowdown. As we begin, we are going to change this up a little. As the party manages to come up onto deck, is there anything anyone would be doing during this journey?
Helping out where I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe William is able to steer and also navigate, depending on what is required, because I believe that was agreed to terms of his passage.
Yep, that William had agreed to assist with navigation and basically, helmsman navigation type duties for the journey. As you guys start heading out, It seems like a beautiful morning. You can see you guys are heading out about the same time as a lot of the larger fishing trolleys and other boats are leaving town to start their day's work. Day seems to be moving fairly comfortably for everyone is throughout the day. Fabio makes a couple of appearances up on deck, coming out of the cargo hold, and you notice it's almost those of you, Lydia, you'd know this because you've been on this boat for a while. Those of you who are fairly new are starting to pick up that Fabio is sort of the joke of the crew. He's basically the goblin of the crew. He gets stuck. If something spills on the deck, he's the one who gets stuck mopping it up. It's whatever task nobody else wants to do. Lugging stuff up and down, all of that stuff is just dumped on him.
Poor Fabio. You all hear me better now?
Actually, no, you're still about the same.
Oh dear, I'll have to fix my mic later.
Yeah, we can play with a little at break time.
You sound like you sound better, but you're still quiet.
What sort of mic do you have? Do you have the mic turned around backwards? Okay. I have to ask that because got one of these and I had mine backwards for the first little while.
Okay, no, I
on
got a
Friday night.
snow. I have a snowball, so I'll just lean into it a little and fix it over break.
So as the party starts heading down, and you guys would know Captain picked up a little bit supplies to get you through another few days on your journey down to Snowdown. First day's travel, wind seems to be with you. Ocean seems to be fairly calm. William up at the helm with Captain seem to be having a fine bit of sailing. About 8 or 10 hours into the journey, Captain looks over at you, William. Says, "Oh, this evening when we have the night shift come up and start dealing with things and trying to keep us on course, do me a favor and collect your friends. I'd like to have a conversation with you before we make berth at Kaya Westfallers. This could be a prime opportunity to make a little bit of money while you're in there."
I, Captain, a fine idea, Captain, sir.
And sort of grins and shakes your head a little bit. Is there anything anyone would be doing during this journey? Just taking care of their own individual pieces, like Fury had offered to help cook, so she's down in the galley at points,
Snowman, he can just be seen on deck, just like repeating like sword strokes, just practicing his technique again and again.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Jack's just up in the rigging for most of the days, just doing various rigging associated things. That's sort of her deal, unless anybody needs shot with cannons or ballistas or things. That's what she's up to.
And you all notice Lydia running around and every little, basically I guess I'll phrase it what the hell's the phrase? I should have got this all from Michael because he just had to research all this. I guess I'll phrase it like a bosun for the ship, the one who's basically given out the assignments to other people, as she is literally the largest person on the boat. And you notice that while not as commanding necessarily as the captain appears to be, the other crew members don't really seem to say boo. But evening starts to, sun starts to go down, the night shift the first night shift is they'll have a couple of switchovers during the evening. The first crew comes up and takes over. William, you're relieved from the helm and navigation.
Finally, my arms hurt.
And the evening is yours.
All right, so then I will round up my friends here and let them know that the captain wanted to have a word with us before we made berth.
Like right now?
Did he specifically want to meet tonight with everybody? He just said before that.
Just before, so you could go in, say hi now if you wanted to. You could wait till another day just before you get there.
I say whenever works for all of us.
I'm free right now.
Sure.
Now is as good a time as any.
All right, so then I lead everybody down to the captain's quarters, knock on the door.
Okay, a couple of seconds, you hear a little bit of rustling, door opens. Abdul looks at the group of you. Oh, yes, perfect. Please, come in.
Evening, Captain.
Evening. Was a decent day today. Hopefully Clint keeps us on course, and as long as that does, we should be good to go. Now, if the weather stays like this, we may actually make it a little earlier than anticipated. But we'll see how the skies do, but there is much to discuss, so please come in and close the door.
I'll close the door and lean up against it.
Now she ushers you in, and you can see she's got a round table off to one side of her quarters, a couple of smaller chairs set around it, and just for you all to sit. And she goes over and pulls out a couple of sheets of parchment out of her desk and comes back over. And John says, well, so I've been thinking where we're heading down to Snowdown. It's high time we get a bit of a better score for everyone. Now, in Kyle Westfall, I believe it's in the Castle District. The Viceroy lives. The Lady Erliza Duresin. She has been Viceroy of that city for going on 50 years. Rumor has it she is fabulously wealthy and has quite the stash of artifacts adorning her home. If we were able to obtain some of these, they could easily sell to the right buyers, of course, for hundreds, if not thousands, of gold each piece. Again, if there are any with arcane abilities, those could go for even more. You will be on going ashore to take care of your own business. Perhaps a visit to her domicile would not be ill-advised.
Wonderful.
All right, sounds like a good score.
Yes, I mean, if she has been ruling for that long, she must be old and feeble by now. I would assume you'd have to deal with a few guards, but, well, you came out of the inside of a giant turtle. I don't think I have too much concern for you with more mundane issues.
On the matter of age, she is human, yes?
That's what we've been told. I've never shook her hand, though. She could be some sort of elven descent, but most of Snowdown is a strong 90 to 95% human. The folk there do mostly crafting and harvesting of the island's materials to ship down to Alm.
Well, if the population of the town is mostly humid, we might get a couple of glances thrown our way as I look around our group and not one of us is a human.
Well, it's the residents are human. It is a merchant town. So you will see as we arrive that there will be a great many number of vessels. They have a rather large marketplace. In the center of the marketplace, a massive stone sculpture. So you will see all manner of people who are looking for goods that Snowdown can provide. Most of them are minerals, wood. You'll find many crafted woodworks. Not as many weaponsmiths as, again, it is mostly merchants, but there are always a few blacksmiths mixed in there that work with the iron and steel that they get from the mountains.
All right. Hey, listen to that, Jackie? Giant statues and woodworks?
It is as if my dreams have come true.
I bet you would like climbing it though.
Is there items that have magic to them?
I'm sorry I couldn't hear you. Hold on, let me turn that down a little.
Is there items that have magic to them that can be obtained in this part?
There may be a few, although they tend to be expensive. But again, it depends on how much you are able to obtain from Lady Elisa as well. As she is known to be a collector, so...
Perhaps she will have... I am thinking of a thing I have heard of that may assist with the procurement of these artifacts from the Viceroy. I have heard of a satchel or backpack of sorts that is the magic is helped to carry much greater amount than is what is in it. It is perhaps something worth getting our hands on if it could help us to remove
something like that would definitely enable you to carry more than your fair share.
Also, anything that I pick up and can stick in my backpack and transform with, disappears. You can't get it back until I transform back.
That could be very helpful. But do you transform back upon death?
Unfortunately, I assume so.
Then one would assume you would still need to survive and get away with it. If someone saw you steal the royal crown, say, and then turn into a bear,
I
one
wouldn't
would
be that
attempt
obvious,
to kill the bear.
but something more like a spider or a fly.
Better perhaps to try to
But the bag idea, that's...
gain access.
I can't carry everything.
But better perhaps to see if we can procure such a thing and gain access to this. What is? She turns to in Nomish. What's the word for a manor or a state or whatever manner of buildings that this woman makes her home in?
A mansion?
Mansion. The better to gain access to this mansion without having to fight people. We can spin the story, the tale, and get in that way, and then
here we also need to figure out which family has this artifact we are looking for. And maybe we can use the artifact that we currently have to get inside.
Perhaps.
I don't know if this lady would have it. She seems to be a collector, so probably, but
Perhaps she will know if she does not have it.
go in under the pretenses of telling her to be careful and keep it safe.
Perhaps if we did it cordially.
Perhaps. Perhaps I look at my inventory and see what I have.
Well, we'll have a lot more
Perhaps,
time than right now to plan this all out.
Of course. I thinking perhaps maybe we keep the whatever it is, the rock of all of the dimensions, whatever. Perhaps we keep it secret, and we maybe we have something else that we can use. She pulls the decanter of endless water out of her her satchel. Maybe this. I don't know.
I do
Something
think we
less
should
less dangerous or valuable.
keep it secret until we absolutely have to.
Yes.
Captain looks around at the group of you. Well, it sounds as has been said. You do have another day and a half to 2 days before we even make shore, and there's nothing saying you must approach her immediately. Get the lay for the land first. But I've given you the information that I sought to. You're all dismissed, and get some rest. We have another day ahead of us tomorrow.
Another day of open sea.
Do not sound so glam, brother. Open sea is good for you. It keeps you from getting into trouble.
Speak for yourself. You spend all day napping on the crow's nest.
She kind of like smirks at him. And just don't drive us into any rocks tomorrow.
Hopefully I don't fall asleep.
She laughs a little and she just heads out, assuming they're kind of done with the conversation.
Yeah, I would be on my way out as well.
Yes, me as well.
Okay. And Lydia will follow suit as we lost Sarah for a moment there. She's reconnecting and on her way back in.
Oh no.
So as you guys head up again, the sun has started to set. It's starting to get dark out. You can see you've got about 5 crewmates who are out right now. One up in the crow's nest, a couple of more down on the deck, one behind the wheel. And looks like the evening is yours. Anyone staying up, taking a watch, or you just heading downstairs and going to bed?
I'll take my my rum ration and maybe see if anyone's playing any cards.
Okay. So, as you head down, you do find a couple of people downstairs. One looks to be a older gnomish gentleman. Ends of his beard you can tell are sort of burnt and frayed. Playing with what appears to be a half-elven or some sort of elven lineage young woman playing what appears to be a game of dice. Doesn't seem like there's anyone playing cards at the moment.
Are they betting?
Yep, looks like as you sort of walk over and spend a couple of minutes watching from behind. It looks like they're each rolling. Looks to be 4 6-sided dice. And then betting either a couple of coppers or a silver. It doesn't look like they're betting a whole lot on who's got the higher amount.
All right. I'll sit down with them if they let me join them, and I'll put down a single gold piece.
As you start to sit down, and first the Alderman looks at you. You have money, right? And seeing you put down the gold piece, you watch as the two of them look back and forth at each other.
I at least have this much.
That's a little more than we're playing for at the moment. How about this? You give me that gold, and he goes into his pouch and pulls out 10 silver. I'll give you the 10 silver it's worth, so you can play our ante. He holds out the 10 silver to you.
Is that in even exchange?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. He's not trying to screw you over. He's not going to bet 10 hands on one play. So he takes the gold from you, gives you the 10 silver. And then looks at you and hands you over this small, looks to be like a little leather-wrapped cup. Drops 4 dice into it. Says, okay, all you do, roll them up, slam them down, and then we bet. Now, where you're rolling on roll 20, when you roll, I want you to type, oh wait, you can't do that, it'll show it to me anyway. I was trying to think of a way that I wouldn't see your dice roll.
You want one of us to roll for Linen?
Well, that's up to Lennon if Lennon wants one of you to roll and then whisper the roll to her. Unless, Lennon, you don't have a set of dice next to you, do you?
I don't have any dice next to me now.
Okay.
They could whisper the roll to somebody else. The other way around. Or would you see that too?
No, I can only see GM roll, but I don't know if there's a way to whisper roll to another player.
I think it's the same thing, just whatever the name is.
Let's see here. Sorry, just a second. Twitch, we're just checking something right quick. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm just gonna try something to see if this works before I tell Lyndon to do it. If we go,
Oh yeah, it says right there, /W name, whisper a message to a player or a character.
Right, so it'll whisper a message, but will it? See, it's. Yeah, it won't let me whisper a roll to player.
Yeah.
Alright, so
All right.
B-roll and only the GM receives it. Yeah, there is no way for me not to see it. So I am just going to stick this, hold on, I'm propping something up in front of my screen here. Okay, it's this way. Okay, so you are all set now.
Hold on, I just downloaded a dice roller.
Oh, hey, that works. Okay.
Internet technology.
Is thinking better than the DM is? Okay, so I gotta... Actually, you know what? I'm going to ask, well, Captain, it was your idea, so I'm going to ask you to GM roll me 4d6. So I'm going to have you roll for the, Lady of Elvish Descent.
Can I GM roll somebody?
Yeah, just /GM roll 4d6.
It does. Oh, is GM rule one word?
Yep. Sorry, this line. Okay.
Yeah, that worked.
So as the you watch as the old gnome shakes up his cup, slams it down, and you hear the dice rattling underneath. The elvish woman does the same thing on the table, and you watch as the two of them sort of cupping it, bend down and lean the cup back so they can sort of look underneath it. And then he looks over. Puts in 1 silver. I'm thinking I'm too hot, but I'll put in 1 silver saying I'm best. He looks over at the elvish woman. He looks down at her cup, looks back up again, looks back down. Looks over at him. No, my dear, you're doing it wrong. It's 2 silver and I'll take your coins. Then she looks over at you, William.
All right. I put down 2 as well on match.
Comes back around to the old man. He looks again, looks under his cup, looks at the pot, looks under it, and just pulls his dice off the table and turns the cup up, sets it down. And, not for me. Elvish woman looks over at you. Seems like it's down just to the 2 of us now. Let's see how rich your blood runs. She slides 3 more silver in.
All match.
Okay. As it seems we have no one else to bet. Let's see what you have. And she's gonna just lift her cup straight up in the air. You can see on the face of her dice she has 2 6s and 2 4s.
Trying to do math. Well, I had a 15.
So she looks over and just sort of says, "Oh, it was a pleasure playing," and she just pulls all the coins over to her.
Yeah, it was a good run. Good one. Good hand.
So as the 2 of them look over, and it looks like you're going to hang with them and play some more?
Yeah, but we don't have to roll.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah, so do me a favor. On your little rolling out, or roll 3d20 for me. You can either use roll 20 or whatever. It doesn't matter if we see that. We're just gonna just sort of for odds within the 3 of them.
3, 11, 19.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so that's okay. So you guys play for about another half an hour or so, and out of those you manage to win a total of 3 additional hands against them. You walk out in total, with all betting aside, with 14 silver pieces. So with a couple of other hands, your net gain, I should say, is 14 silver pieces because you lost a couple of hands in between. So your net gain for the evening's gambling is 14 silver pieces. So as the rest of the evening goes through, it seems to pass without too much of an issue. And the group of you waken the next morning again, hearing the bell ring for the first shift to come back up. So you guys come on deck. You can see the 3 members of the night crew are starting to head back underneath, get some rest. Captain calls William back up to the helm, getting everything ready to go and for the day. William, as you and Captain are going over the records, does look like Clint, did get you guys a little off course, so you're a little further east than Captain would have liked.
Clint, what have I told you about leaning on the steering wheel?
There is Captain gets you set up and takes over and gets everything. Again, the two of you working together get everything lined back up. Captain goes down, beckons Lydia to go have a conversation with Clint. What would the rest of you be doing? Jack, you just hanging in the rigging again?
Depends on what Snow Moon's doing.
Right now, he's just standing on the deck, just kind of looking out at the sea.
She will seek him out at some point during today, privately.
Okay. Fury, anything you'd be doing?
If Fury notices that Jack is not in the crow's nest, she would like to try to climb up there and check it out.
Oh, okay. So, what we'll do is that, Jack, you notice about an hour and a half into the morning's travel, Lydia and the captain are still off dealing with Clint. You see Snow Moon is just off on his lonesome.
Okay. So she will approach him. Her gear, her backpack, the harness containing the holsters with her firearms is also not with her. She's just kind of unequipped at the moment. And she'll sort of seek him out, and there's a little bit of sort of going into his vicinity and really making sure a knot on one of the rigging is really good, and some other sort of shuffling about and kind of casually getting sort of closer to him, and then she'll assuming he's not actively swinging a sword as he's prone to do, she'll sort of kind of approach him and give a little bit of a clear of her throat.
And so he's looking out over the side, and it takes him a minute to notice that someone has kind of walked up behind him, but he hears someone clear their throat behind him, and he just kind of turns around and sees Jack. Jack?
Snow Moon? Are you busy? I suppose this is it.
No, I'm not busy right now.
She nods and she says, is that message something that we should...
Oh, I apologize. No, roll 20 froze. I was just
Okay.
putting it somewhere, so if you guys tell me to
Dream
drink
is
out for a
good.
second.
It is hard for me. I am not. I have the common is not. It is not good. I am. I've struggled with it. But in the turtle, when the sharkman is have to be decided on what to do,
Yes?
you are of the same opinion as me, and it is not as the opinion others have.
Yes, we did agree on how that should have been handled.
She sort of nods a little. Says, I can hope that it is not come back to how they say bite us later, but I am thinking that you are. She looks. She's very awkward.
Hmm. And
And she says, "I am wish to know about the people that I shall be travel with a little, and I thought perhaps to speak with you. Is you all understand this?"
yes, yes, I understand. I mean, I haven't spent much time discussing these kind of things amongst my former clanmates. Is there a particular question you have?
She just sort of shrugs a little. She says, I don't know. It is my brother is friends to everyone. He is it is he is easy to talk to the people. It is not for me, and the others, Lydia and Freya, they seem well. You all seem perhaps more like me, quiet, I suppose. I thought perhaps it was easy to learn, to talk, to learn about you, to learn the common better, to practice it. She sort of shrugs. She says, I do not know. I am not good at this. Where is it? What is it? The people ask, where is it you are from? Where is it you come from? What is your what is it like when you are small? As a children?
He kind of puts his hand on the back of his head and is like, it's kind of a lot to take in for like a first one-on-one discussion.
She sort of shrugs. She says, if it is too much, perhaps where you are learn. And she does sort of mimes some of his like sword katas that he's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
I see you practice. Where are you learn this?
So, in the clan I grew up in, we dedicated ourselves to our abilities and to our techniques. To us, it was an art form more than just simple combat. So I dedicate myself, all of myself, to it.
It is she seems to be searching for a word. Profession, job, or is different than this?
Not exactly a job, more like the way you climb the riggings on the ship. You seem to get pleasure from it more than just work. Is that correct?
She shrugs a little. I am good at it. It is enough.
He just kind of shrugs in return. This combat, I've learned it's all I've known my whole life. It's what I've dedicated myself to. I take pride in my skill.
She nods a little. This I can understand. The to what did you say? Dedicated? Hmm?
Yes.
Dedicate their. This I know. She nods a little and ponders. It is good, I think. Good thing to dedicate.
I may not like you said, we may not be the most talkative of the group here, but if you would like help with common, I could try. I'm no expert, but
She shrugs a little. She says, it is enough. I talk to people, I learn. I am not, she gestures vaguely in the direction of like the, where like the helm is, or the wheel is. Guillaume is always this way and that way, even as a child. Always talking to the merchants. He has learned common much longer than I am. It is easy for him, but I never have need to learn. I never plan to leave my home. Only until he disappear do I have to leave to search for him. And so my practice is not as long. I learn enough to get by. It is better. She just sort of nods. She says, "It is enough to talk to others that have more practice with this than I am." And she sort of looks a little abashed. She says, I try to learn about the people. It is sometimes I think better to be like Guillaume than like me. Glances around. Do not tell him I say this.
he kind of like smiles a little bit at that.
She sort of nods. She says, "Okay, this is all I wish to say. Perhaps we will have more talking, and I can learn the command and learn more of you and of this clan of yours. It is good to learn of the people that you travel with, I think."
Yes. My clan, I've been exiled from my clan. So it's nice to find a group to be a part of again.
What is exile?
I was forced to leave, and I have no chance of going back.
That is a terrible thing to have lost a home to return to.
Yes.
She sort of nods. She says, "Well, perhaps someday you will tell me of this. But It is not, I think, for casual acquaintance, I think.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
She nods. She says, some days in. And she'll sort of meander off after that. You're muted, DM.
Okay. So as all this is going on, Furia, you managed to climb yourself up to the crow's nest. As it seems that Bitterjack is taking care of something down by Snow Moon. Anything you would be doing once you're up there?
I would just, well, first when I got up there, I would sort of, hold on to railing or the center post and just close my eyes and try to imagine I'm in a very, very tall tree. And then after maybe a couple minutes or so, I would, start actually trying to do what I'm supposed to while up there.
So go ahead and make a perception check while you're up there.
13.
Okay. So as you manage to get up and you grab hold of that center post for a couple of minutes, eyes closed, just sort of trying to get the feel and just say, it's a tree. It's a tree. As you open your eyes and start looking out to try to see what you can see, all of a sudden the ship hits just a tiniest bit of a swell. And that crow's just sort of goes, and throws you for a little bit of a loop as trees you've been up in the top end don't typically move like that.
Not that much, yeah.
Yeah, you haven't climbed a sapling since you were tiny. As you're looking out, though, you can see just ocean all around you. As you're looking, again, just taking in that 360 degrees, sort of spinning around and looking. It doesn't look like there is anyone else within eyesight of you right now. No land, nothing on no other boats that you see, no birds in the air. As you're looking, though, and as you're walking around, you sort of step and look down. You do find a decent hand crossbow. Looks like somebody had been carving something into it. And common, just the single letter H has been carved into one side of it.
I don't know if this is Jack's or not, but I guess I'll sort of pick it up and is it new? Does it look like it's been here a while?
It doesn't look new, but at the same point, it doesn't look like it's been left out to the weather. You're pretty sure this belongs to somebody.
All right, so I'll put it back down, and I'll just sort of wait up here. I'm assuming that Jack is going to climb back up here at some point. So
Okay.
I'm assuming I don't have anything better to do either, so I'll just
No, it's
continue looking up.
At this point, it's probably about midday. They won't be looking for your help back down in the galley until everyone's ready to start getting an evening meal. Or you would offer to help with the cooking duties. They'll be seeking you out for that portion of it. Again, William, from you at helm, you see the day is going nice and smooth. Got a good headwind behind you. Checking the charts, you're pretty sure you've made up for the time that Clint lost. You don't think that you were able to do much beyond that, where he put you a good probably 5 or 10 miles going due south instead of that slight southwesterly tint that he should have been doing, but you were able to shave that time off that he lost. Now we're going to jump downstairs real quick to Lydia and the captain, who are looking for Clint. So, Lydia, when you go downstairs, go ahead and make a perception check for me. Actually, we'll have Captain make one, too. Right then. Captain's focused. Captain's so focused, can't hear Lydia.
Yeah, I can't hear her right now either.
Lydia's voice has been stolen by the siren. Okay. Oh, wow.
She says nat 20.
Alrighty then. So, as you head downstairs and start looking for Clint, Captain is focused on looking for it. As you're downstairs, as you're looking, it's messy down here. Looks like there's a random bow laying next to an empty hammock. Looks to be like a white cotton shirt draped over the same side as just a hammock's not used. Nobody sleeps there. I have no idea if your microphone's working yet. Alrighty then. So what we'll do is Para has just made it back to us. What we'll do is we'll take this moment where we've having some microphone problems with Sarah. We'll take our evening's break here, so we can help Sarah get our microphone fixed, and so we can fill in Para what happened so far this evening. We'll be back, 3 to 7 minutes somewhere in there. So thanks for hanging out with us, folks, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. And
character sheet on Roll20, so I just tried to DM you Jack's character sheet.
Oh,
Hopefully
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look pointedly while the camera's back on down towards Artemis on my screen. Welcome back, everyone. It's just gone live at that moment. So as you can see, currently our images have shifted a little bit. Sarah's still having some minor issues with her microphone for some reason. It just popped off middle of the stream on us. She's working on that, so our cameras are jockeyed around a little bit. So we're going to pull that 20 and just sort of stick it over middle of the map here, so that we know it is not on Snow Moon, and that we will hold, we'll mark that about where the party's going to be at the end of today's travel. So you all have a rough idea. And with that, we will jump actually back into a little while ago, as Jack and Snow Moon are currently having a conversation. Furia has made her way up to the top of the crow's nest and is currently about to find a small crossbow with a letter carved on it. We find ourselves down on the deck with Artemis, currently buried deep in a book of some kind. And so Artemis, you said you would be practicing some of your newly learned spells.
Probably not doing that below deck, probably up top near the back of the ship or away from people.
So the safest spot for you to be away from people on the ship is you've actually got William is currently up with the wheel handling helm and navigation. You see at the far back of the end there are a couple of crew members actually back by the ballistas. Seems to be on down a little bit closer towards the back of the ship is where you see Jack and Snow Moon. So your probably best bet is going to be on the opposite side of the ship, a little bit towards the front, but right at that sort of side. What's it called? Not the bulwark. I can't remember the name of the wall. Basically, right at the sort of railing wall of the ship is probably your best bet to be sort of away from people.
Okay. Right. Well, let's try this out then. See if I'm doing this correctly. So one of the new ones that I got is 2nd level Snillux Snowball Swarm, which is an alliteration that is really hard to say.
And what does this look like as Artemis casts this spell?
They're gonna try and aim it off the boat, like just in the water, because they don't want to freeze people.
Oh, okay.
So they're rummaging through their bag for the components, tossing other stuff aside, finally grabbing said component. Oh, yes, good. And kind of producing the orb and the orb that they use. And just sort of gesticulating wildly off the side of the boat.
Oh, okay. Just sort of throwing off into the water?
Yes. And flavor text reads, "A flurry of magic snowballs erupts from a point you choose."
Okay,
So they're probably not perfect spheres. They're probably just a bunch of attempts. But let's yeah.
So as you point out and you watch is from this spot that you just sort of point out into the water, you watch is almost like a spray from this point in the ocean. You start to see these almost crystalline white orbs start to just erupt and blow out in this sort of almost the radius of the spell as they erupt out in the circular pattern is almost as misshapen as the snowballs are. They're not quite perfectly round. And you watch as they just sort of flood and then collapse back down into the water. And you watch as it hits the water, and you, almost as quickly as they land, they start to dissolve away into nothing.
Oh well, good first try. Yeah. They'll scribble down some notes about it. They'd probably try it a couple more times, providing they can still find stuff in their pack.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
So as Artemis is currently casting spells, you get everyone else talking. Lydia, are you back with us?
Can you hear me?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't see me yet, but I'm working on that.
Oh, okay. So as you and the captain have gone down looking for Clint, Captain
Yes.
is taken off ahead of you, as seems to be laser focused on looking at Clint. As you're looking down there, though, you I don't know if you heard before, you noticed that one of the hammocks has a bow and a white cotton shirt just sort of laying in it. You'd think it was someone's belongings, but nobody sleeps in that bunk.
Huh. Maybe someone stretched out a little and took more than their share. Space down here, but usually that's just me. Hey, Captain! We take on more crew?
Captain turns around. No, it's still only the 42. Well, and your group.
Do you know who sleeps here?
No, no one sleeps there.
That's what I thought. I'll go up to the stuff and just kind of inspect it, see if it's has like returned this shirt too.
No, it does not appear to be labeled or anything. You can tell both the shirt and the bow. They're not new, but at the same point, you don't think they're necessarily something that you guys pulled off a body. There's no like arrow holes or slashes in the shirt. The shirt's been worn. You can see little bits of fraying on the arms and collar. There's the center of the bow where somebody's hand would be grasping it. You can see has been wrapped multiple times, like it's seen some use.
I'll leave it there just in case it belongs to someone, but I'll keep an eye out in case I see who picks it up.
As you're looking at that, you can hear Captain in the background having a couple of words with Clint. After a couple of minutes, you hear a...
Oh.
And then Captain comes walking back over, rubbing the back of her hand a little bit.
How do you take it, Captain?
Let's just say we won't be off course tomorrow morning.
Alright.
Or you may find it a long swim home.
Gotcha.
And with that, she gets ready to head back upstairs.
What do I have in my pack? Can I like write on the just put a little mark on the bow just to see if like I notice anyone use it, like a little notch or something on the side.
Sure. Do you have any sort of a bladed implement or a writing implement in your pack?
Let me see. Thank God I have this warhammer. It's so useful in situations like this when I need to do stuff.
A little notch.
Oh dear. I've got some arrows though. Can I just take an arrow?
Yeah,
like...
easy enough to take an arrow
Okay.
and just put like a little line down on one side of the bow.
All right, that's what I'll do. And
Enough to make it look a little unique. So, granted, you think it would be a little difficult to see it if you guys were in the midst of a battle.
Right. But if
To
someone's
run up
walking
and
around
look
with
at it and be like, "Oh, he's shooting it right now."
Right. All right. I'll just keep an eye out for it then.
Oh, okay. So as you guys head back up, it's going to be about hour or two before sunset. All of a sudden, A head pops out from under deck. Where the hell's Furia? Supposed to be helping me cook dinner. Elf
I don't know, I
girl!
haven't seen her.
Can I hear that? Well,
Oh, easily. This person is bellowing.
all right, I'll yell back down. Coming.
Someone looks
And I'll
up,
climb down.
walks away, turns around, heads back down, reaches down, pulls the pants back up. Heads back down in the galley as Furia joins to take care of her daily duties on the boat. As
Jack goes immediately back up to the crow's nest after like seeing Furia come down from there.
Okay. And Furia, you left the hand crossbow up there, right?
I did. I picked it up and then I just put it back down.
Yeah, so as you get back up there, Jack, you notice your stuff, but you do see that there, and you do notice off to the side, there's a hand crossbow you didn't necessarily pay too much mind of at first, but you do notice it's been up there. It looks like it's been moved, and you see the same thing right on the side, just the letter H.
This thing has, like, Jack's been just living up here for the past, like, however many days. Has this thing been here, or am I, like, where did this crossbow come from?
It has not typically been up there in the morning. So you're thinking it's probably something that whoever handles the nights in the crow's nest then is taking the watch for the night up there.
She's been sleeping up there, so, like, is this somebody that I have interacted with?
I did not know you
I
were
may have
sleeping
messed up
there.
your thing there.
So, let's see here. Let's go. So, you have no idea.
Weird. Okay.
So it's something you don't remember seeing it yesterday. As you're looking at it today and you get back up there, it looks like it doesn't look like it's weather worn. It looks like somebody uses this thing. It's in pretty good quality, pretty good shape. Somebody was carving a letter into it. You've got no idea how it got up there or whether or not you've just missed it every time.
Okay. First thing she's gonna do after noticing the crossbow a little bit is to very thoroughly inspect her belongings, and specifically the harness and the holsters containing her firearms, for signs that they were touched since she saw Furia come down from up here. And then once satisfied that that stuff was not disturbed, she will take the crossbow and she's gonna. It's a hand crossbow, normal crossbow.
It's a hand crossbow.
Hand crossbow. She's gonna take the hand crossbow and she'll keep it on her. She's perplexed as to how it ended up here. And she figures whoever's it is will come looking for it once they realize that they have missed it.
Oh, okay. Oh, and you guys, dinner gets made. Everyone eats, and another hour or two goes by. Captain calls out for the night group to come up over the first evening group. And so again, you got 5 people come up from underneath, start taking over. Clint comes up to take over for Sweet William. William, as Clint comes walking up, you can see he is sporting a rather large handprint on the side of his face. Looks like someone smacked the hell out of him. And he comes up and, go get yourself some grub. I guess it's on me for the night.
Yes. Is that on your face? Is that normal? Has that always been there?
Yes. Yes, it has. I'd rather not talk about it. It's a sensitive subject.
Well, alright, well, if you ever run into any problems, you are more than welcome to seek me out at any time.
Sort of reaches out and touches Treza. Thank you, but I think I should be focusing on where we're going.
Yes, I know that the seabirds are quite beautiful this time of year, but let's keep our eyes to the water, yeah?
Just sort of shakes his head. Thumbs up, takes over the wheel, and kind of start to walk away. You notice out of the corner of your eyes, they're rubbing that face again. The evening is yours. Would anyone be doing anything this evening, or?
I think Jack's gonna stay in her perch.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna spend the first half of the night awake as elves do, just, lounging somewhere on the ship deck.
Oh,
And
okay.
then night come, or when I want to go to bed, then I'll head down.
Alrighty then. Lydia, Snowmoon, Sweet William, Artemis, anything anyone would be
I'll
doing?
be snoring in my bunk, but keeping an eye open for a little while to see if anyone claims that bow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Snowmoon, he just looks out at the sea for a little bit more and kind of reflects on his conversation with Jack before heading down to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Sweet William is gonna seek out Furia. See what Furia is up to. Get to know her a little better.
Just wandering around.
And before we jump
on
over
deck.
to that, anything you'd be doing, Artemis?
More spells.
Okay, what we'll do is Furia and Snow are off doing their little things on. It seems like almost on opposite sides. It seems Artemis is trying to stay a little bit away from people as practicing these new spells. So we'll jump back to William going to hunt down Furia up on deck.
I imagine Furia would just be looking at the stars or something.
Yeah, stopping here or there, looking at the stars, wandering, walking back and forth, just chilling, I guess. Not that hard to track down.
Yeah, I'll approach you and I'll say, it's getting quite late up here. Are you not sleepy?
Not really. Do you not know that people of my kind don't need as much sleep?
Oh, that is right. I've forgotten that. It's quite interesting. What do you do besides sleep?
We just have more time to do whatever we want than, I guess, lots of other races.
So, does that mean you don't dream?
Well, it's not. We call it trancing, but I don't think we dream like you guys do. We remember things of past experiences and past lives.
Wow, that is quite fascinating. It must be quite something to see your past lives like that.
Well, it changes over time. The older you get, the less you remember.
I see. So, what brings you here on this? You seem far from home.
Well, my home are forests. There's not a lot of trees here, so you're right. I'm going for an adventure, creating memories. I have to have something to remember when I dream.
Yes, and that must be quite a treat for your future descendants. Dreams of the sea, or they might be back home in the forests.
Perhaps.
What are you hoping to find out here?
I'm always looking for animals. I've discovered I can only turn into something once I've seen it. So, obviously, I need to go find things if I want to be them.
Ah, yes. We should find you many, many things that you can take stock of.
I can't turn into, people. But most, forest creatures I could turn into. That's where I started. And then traveling out here looking for fishes and things like that. And I hope to find more where we're going.
I think I should like to be a shark. I could swim up anywhere I want to and chomp away.
What would you eat?
Small fish. I'd like them.
Being a shark, eating fish, and then turning back into yourself. Raw fish inside you. It doesn't feel great. I've done
delicious.
it with
It's called sushi.
I've done it with bears, eating small animals and then turned back into myself. It's not nice.
Yeah, sounds
glory.
painful.
You hear Lydia call from the bottom of the ship.
Just down below. It seems we have a eavesdropper. Good night, Lydia. I should get to bed as well soon.
Good night!
Have fun making memories for your future selves.
Well, if we stick together, you'll be in them.
Wow. Imagine that, being in dreams of elves.
The more elves you hang out with, the more likely it will be.
Good night, Lydia. And Furia.
Good night, Sweet William. And Furia.
Good night, John boy.
I didn't realize the deck was so thin.
This is like the end of a Brady Bunch episode. Everybody's like, "Good night, Furia. Good night, Snow Moon. Good night, Snow Moon. Good night, Lydia. Good night, Artemis."
With that, the rest of the evening seems to pass without much of an issue. As the morning starts to come to, and you start hearing the bell being rung. This time, much more frantically. Jack, as you are up on deck in the crow's nest, go ahead and make a perception check for me as you are coming to.
20.
Okay. You almost immediately upon waking, you start, as you're looking down, you see 3 individuals on the deck, as well as you can see the captain coming out of her quarters, as somebody is rapidly ringing the bell, as you watch as this creature leaps out of the water over the top of the boat. As you watch, it seems to chomp at something and then sail over. You didn't see anything that was biting at, just jumped over and then made a biting motion.
A creature like fish-shaped, like...
As you're looking at it,
Oh dear.
it looks to be... come on, get out of everybody's face, thank you. It looks to be almost more snake-like. It is a rather large creature, sort of greenish in color. As it leaps out, you can see it has 2 wings coming off the sides of it. And the body tapers out into a long, thin tail.
Okay. And it came out of the water,
Jumped
chomped
out
over
of the
boat,
water,
back into the water.
chomped, and went right over like it bit in midair and just continued off to the other side of the boat.
So it did like a
Okay.
free willy.
Basically. Free Willy with a little bit of, great white.
Pizzazz. Okay, Jack will, presumably there is a boat, which I don't. There's a bell in the crow's nest.
Yep.
So Jack will also, start ringing the alarm, while pulling one of her firearms free with the other hand.
Okay, and with that, as everyone is now hearing this going off, I want you to all go ahead and roll initiative for me. What I'm going to do before we do that, just so this doesn't mess up is we are going to jump back over to our boat.
Are you kidding me? Oh boy.
Okay.
Is it
So
correct?
for basically for everyone except for Bitter Jack, your first turn's movement, not dash, just straight movement, will get you up and onto the deck.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to, okay, so we're just going to grab, here, we're going to stick all of you down there for now. One more, right? Artemis. Actually, what we're going to do is I'm going to stick you there, and I'm going to stick Sweet William at the front, because I don't think anyone's going to beat that 23 in terms of initiative. And
Nope.
then we have 1, 2. Okay. I don't want to delete you. You might need it. Okay, so we're just going to layer you. Layer you. Okay. Don't forget, do me a favor, if you've rolled your initiative, I've got the turn order pulled up, so go ahead and plop your initiative in there for me.
Mine is only showing me the enemies, not any of our party.
Right.
Lovely. Okay, hold on. Let me just give me a second. I'm going to clear everything, and I'll. Actually, don't clear everybody because I'll have to re-enter all them. I'm going to delete. Oh wow, everybody else is gone for some reason. That's wonderful. Okay. So, come on back out for a minute, Hara. I'm going to use your cheat sheet so I don't give anything away. Okay, so just go ahead in and change your numbers as I get you,
We can roll for ourselves.
Oh yeah, that would have been smart if I had thought of that.
Sorry.
Okay, so now can you guys still see the mini-boss and everyone else now? Or like the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to call Minions Green is going to be your crewmates.
Okay.
Okay. I did not... Actually, no, we're going to make it Minions Red so I don't have to double line it because, I'm lazy. And then for our friend here... So, wow. Oh, this is going to be one interesting bloody fight. And with that, we are going to fire up some new battle music. Wait a minute, where's... I gotta fix Sweet William because I know you rolled a 23. Redescend that. Okay, so we now have Sweet William at the top of the initiative. You have just used your movement. You have gotten up into, you're on the deck. You can hear the bell ringing. You can see you've got, what looks to be 3 crew members currently, on the deck. Captain is coming out of her quarters. Looks like she's heading up towards the wheel.
Am I able to deduce what the threat is? Because I don't think...
No, at this point you hear the bell ringing. You can see what looks to be Pank. You can see your sister up in the crow's nest is just ringing the bell left and right. You know Jack well enough to know that she wouldn't be ringing that unless something serious is going on.
Okay. So I guess I come out and I'm looking to see what is like. Do I see any ships? Do I see anything?
You don't see anything at all. You can see, it looks like one of the, from where you are, the one, as you come running up, the one crewmate you can see that's up by the wheel, you can see their eyes are focused over towards this direction, but you don't see anything. It's just open water as far as you can see.
Okay, well then I'll ready an action for when I see something threatening.
Okay, so we're gonna zoom this in a little more so I can get this over a little more.
And I'll call up at Jack, like what's going on.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to Jack.
All right. So Jack is going to wrap like a piece of rigging, piece of rope from up in the sails and stuff around one of her, sort of like swoop an ankle around a line. So like in the event she was freeing both her hands, but in the event she falls, she has like a leg wrapped around this rope to keep herself from dropping 70 feet to the deck or whatever it is. And draw the stop ringing the bell, draw the second pistol, and she'll in response to William, and then like as people start running up onto the deck, calls down "See monster, and she's gesturing over the side. It has jumped the ship. Prepare. Watch yourself on deck. And she is training both guns in the direction where she saw the creature land, and I'm going to hold my action to fire both pistols at the whatever it is if it jumps again.
Okay. And that will bring us over to Lydia then.
I would like to move out a little.
Oh, okay. So yeah, when you guys get up, I'd say you probably have about 10 or 15 feet of movement left as you're using most of it to get up here.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to leave you all just stuck right in the stairwell.
Well, 10 feet will only get me here, where Artemis is, so I won't move. I will hold a sacred flame in case I see something.
Okay. And you said you were moving about 10 feet out?
Yeah.
Okay, so just when
No,
you get...
actually I'm not, because 10 feet would be exactly where Artemis is anyway, so I think I would just stay where I am.
Artemis is only 5 feet away from you.
No, it says 10 feet. It says 20 feet to get past him.
Really?
It's
No,
5
it's...
feet squares
Yeah,
and
it's
the
5
scale
feet
is
per
wrong.
square, so yeah, that's... The measurement's off.
Okay. Alright, I just didn't want to assume anything. So. Okay, yeah, I'll move out a little.
Because the boat itself is only about 50 feet across.
Okay.
So each one of the larger squares are 10 feet, so sorry about that.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so you come out, so you're holding something.
Yeah,
Okay, so that brings over to Snow Moon.
So he heard Jack shouting down from the crow's nest that it jumped across the ship.
Yep.
So he doesn't want to go out too far. He's probably going to go out just about as far as Lydia went and just stop there with his hand on the hilt of his blade, but that's it.
Oh, okay. Now we'll bring us over to the crew. Who, the couple that are on top are now looking around and looking over to where that thing came from. You can see a couple of them are getting hand crossbows ready. This guy's moving over as he would have been on the wheel, so he's just maintaining his hand on the wheel. Captain's going to burn her moving. She's actually going to dash so she can get all the way over and take over the wheel. So this guy can finish moving over here, and he's got a hand crossbow out now. So he's now got a ready to action for when this thing pops up. And that'll bring us over to Furia.
Alright, well, I'm gonna move out as well. Would I be able to make it all the way to over there?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so I will stop there and you hold. Well, not hold, but do produce flame, but hold on to the flames until I see something.
Oh, okay. So about that time is everyone is sort of watching over into this area looking. You see a massive greenish creature leap out of the water towards the ship. And what you see is this.
Ooh. Okay.
That should pop up for all you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of cute.
Kind of.
Except that
The
it's
way a
enormous.
monstrous, enormous frog is. The teeth is.
Yeah, how big is that?
It looks like it could swallow one of you whole.
Oh.
Wow, love that.
Okay.
Love that for us.
That's not saying too much. I'm a little bit tiny.
That's saying a lot considering I'm 7 feet tall and 200 pounds.
Okay, so as it starts to crest out of the water, immediately you hear this ear-splitting shriek. Now, as all of you are letting off your held actions, I need you... Oh my god, shrink already. Thank you, finally. As it is flying over, I need you all go ahead and roll your held actions, but I also need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Is there like a range limit on whatever this effect is, or is it just within?
Actually, that's a valid point. Jack does not need to.
Because I'm real high, boys.
Yeah,
real high in the air.
Yeah, so as this thing's scanning through, let me see, 10, 20, 30. So all of you will, Oh, Captain's clear too. So it looks like it's just our party and a couple of the pirates need to. We're gonna have them,
I got a nat 20 for this save.
Oh, okay.
I got an 11 for the save.
I got a 16.
Oh, okay. So I need,
It's a con save?
con save, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yep, uh-huh. 6?
Okay.
You need
So,
to get rid of those dice.
Snow Moon, Sweet William, and Artemis, you are all now frightened of this creature.
Boy.
So at that same point, though, William, your hand crossbow, let me double check here. Pretty sure that's going to hit, though. Yeah, that's going to hit. So go ahead and roll your damage.
I
Sorry.
got a 22 to hit for my produce flame.
Oh, okay, so that'll hit as well. and that needs to make a dexterity save.
I had a 24 and a 26 to hit.
Oh yeah, those will both hit as well.
I did a total of 23 damage.
Okay.
I did
Fortunately,
3 fire
Lydia,
damage.
that is a nat 20 on the saving throw.
Ooh.
Oh.
William, I need you to go ahead and roll your hand crossbow damage, because that does hit. Okay.
I did 3 fire damage if you didn't catch that earlier.
Okay, so you got 3 fire damage. What did you say, Jack? You had 23?
23 total damage.
Okay. There we go. Nice.
I forgot I have grit points now. How do I use those?
Okay,
I'll figure that out for next turn.
So, for, until, this thing, next turn, the 3 of you are frightened of it, so just keep in mind you can't move closer to it, and you have disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability checks when it is visible. The rest of you who, made your save, you guys are immune for the next 24 hours. And as you're
Nice.
watching as this thing flies through the air, again, you watch as it's going over and just a single, almost like flap of the wings, and it just coasts over.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch as the tail snakes out and seems to slam out to impact. And it swings over here. And you just watch as this tail just out. And then it continues its flight and drops down, and as it hits into the water, vanishes underneath the water again. That brings us to Artemis.
Well, I'm frightened of it. I'm on the stairs. I can't move closer to it, but I can't see it from where I am.
Right.
So I don't. Oh,
So you know
boy.
it's underwater, and you know it's on that side of the ship.
Uh,
That's
Artemis,
out if you're
anyone
watching
told
from
you you have a delightful laugh?
Oh, thank you. A couple people, yes. Not in situations like this, though.
Just saying. Pretty infectious.
oh boy. And who is all frightened? Sorry?
So it is you, William, and Snowmoon right now.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, then, since I'm closest to her, I will place a hand on Lydia and cast Mage Armor on her.
Oh, nice.
You can guess mage armor on other people?
Willing creatures.
I've never thought I'd try that. I'm greedy with my mage armor.
Oh. I know you're nice folk and all, but I can wear heavy armor, so I'm pretty taken care of. So if you want to take care of yourself before you touch me with your magical hands.
Too late.
Well, no, it's,
hey.
as you reach out to touch, Artemis knows the spell. So as you reached out and realized, oh wait, she's wearing armor, I'd say you wouldn't. I won't make you burn your first level slot on that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Art would know that. Art would know, oh, I gotta do this. And they go, oh, wait a minute. Is that chainmail or whatever that he has on?
How much D&D experience between the group of us, and at least Matthew and also myself, how many of us did not know that you could cast mage armor on somebody that wasn't you? Because I didn't.
I did not.
It's literally never happened in the history of D&D.
Every other word is like, screw you.
Y'all
I'm
people
using
are greedy! Alright, fine. I'll swing that
Sorry.
hand right back around on myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
this.
A little more grace, not too much more though.
So Artemis facepalms themselves to mage armor. Anything else you'd be doing?
Scooting right here. For flavor, I guess, I was just gonna say, like, when the armor first, like, appears within the first, like, couple seconds, it kind of looks like a sea urchin, and then it just kind of, like, quiets down. Or, like, kind of, like, shrinks close to them.
Oh, very
But,
nice.
The armor of a quiet sea urchin.
Whatever!
Oh, and then you could be, what's his name? Jacques Cousteau? The
Oh,
guy who did the... And
the
his,
silent undersea guy.
yeah, the undersea guy.
Yeah,
Undersea guy.
invented scuba.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jacques Cousteau.
yeah.
And you're Jacques. So you could be Jacques Cousteau.
So that'll bring us back to the top of the order and Sweet William.
Okay, so it landed over this way. So I'm gonna try and kind of take cover over on this side, and I'm gonna use, I'm gonna hide with my cunning action, and then gonna ready a hand crossbow.
Alrighty then.
I'm actually gonna go over here because I realize that Jack is up high in that position.
So that'll bring us over to Bitterjack.
Do any of the ships, do the ballistas or any of the other armaments that the ship is equipped with have the ability to fire broadside? Like, I mean, I assume, right?
They can turn to a certain degree, but as you're looking right now, it doesn't seem the crew hasn't made it all the way upstairs yet.
Okay.
So right now they only had the one person who was on the wheel back there.
So, like, I guess my question is, as I'm up here on the
Actually, give me a second. I forgot to. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I forgot to roll damage for the to see if the hand crossbow guy that was holding one hit. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
As I'm up here on the rigging, are any of, like, the ballistas that are on deck, or do they look, or rather, do they look? Are they? I don't know how to phrase. Jack's idea, if this is feasible, being that she is who she is to get to the biggest goddamn gun she can find and prepare to shoot it at this thing if it jumps again. So I guess question one, using ropage and whatever other sick pirate acrobatics at her disposal, how close can I get to one of these ballistas, and can I get that ballista prepped to take a shot at this thing if it jumps out of the water again, based on where it is and where the
you
ballista
wouldn't be
is.
able to get. You could probably get all the way there. It would take your movement and your action there. You'd have to dash.
Mm-hmm.
You could make it down there on the roping and rigging, get right to it. I would say that typically that you know that at least one shot is left in the ballista. You're
Okay.
pretty sure you could turn it and shoot it at it when it jumps out, but you wouldn't have the action to do so until your next turn.
Oh, unless I was a fighter who had action surge, baby!
Alrighty then.
I will do that. So Jack, the most piratey of pirates, is gonna like zip line down this rope over to the ballista, start cranking it over to the side, and I will use my action surge to take a bonus action to prep the ballista to take a shot at our boy here. I don't. This is maybe too much. Can I attach a rope to the bolt on the ballista?
Given you guys already had a couple that you had set up this way as part of your plans for dealing with the turtles, I'll say you can just take one of those bolts and stick it in. Because you guys had already made a bunch of those as to try to net the turtle's face.
Okay. All right, well then it burns all of my shenanigans to get down to that and prep the bad boy to shoot a tether at this thing, which means I can't do it when it pops up again this time. But ooh, am I ready? Because like Jack is like up on the deck behind this.
As all of you are looking, this ballista is aimed somewhat uncomfortably close to the group of you. As all of you are doing the math, if this thing jumps, Jack's gonna lead it, and it's gonna fire towards you to hope to hit it. And that'll bring us over to Lydia.
Alright, I'm going to step forward a little. And, I guess, let's see. I'm going to hold, a spell. I'm gonna hold, Shatter for next time I see that thing go by.
You're holding what now?
Shatter.
Oh, okay. So we got, Lydia holding a shatter. Okay, we've got a somewhat frightened snow moon.
Yeah, so it's no longer in sight of me, so I can move toward it or move anywhere, but for that brief instant where he felt that fear, it was deeply troubling for him to feel fear of an opponent in combat, so he's kind of internally split-second struggling with that, but he's going to just move a bit to the side in case it jumps up again, and he's going to ready his breath weapon.
Okay. That will bring us
Yep, that'll be my turn.
over to the rest of the crew, who are now starting to pour up from beneath the deck. And we are just going to sort of stack them in a chunk just to make life easy. As they're all going to appear, and as you can hear the captain shouting out orders, they're all pulling out bows, arrows, crossbows, whatever they've got, and you can see them all, knocking arrows, getting ready to release their held actions should this thing appear again. That'll bring us over to Furia.
When this thing has jumped over or come over the boat, how close to the deck was it?
You're seeing
Like
it
within
is sailing about
melee?
maybe 5 or 6 feet above it.
Okay.
Head-biting height.
If you were to stand there, it would be within melee range if you were willing to step up and put yourself in front of it.
All right. I'm going to cast Flaming Sphere, which basically conjures a 5-foot thing of fire. Somewhere not around people.
Okay, so give me a point.
Let's see here. Maybe over here.
Oh, okay.
Close to where the last time it went over. But 5 feet at least away from everybody around.
Okay, so just so you remember, the last time it went over, it was traveling pretty much like right in this area.
Okay, so maybe like 5 feet down from there.
Okay.
And then I have a question about the crocodile. It says when I attack, target is grappled, but it's a bite attack. So would that work on Would I be able to hang on to the back of this thing if that worked?
Oh, whoa.
I'd say sure. But I will say, given it has momentum, as you're trying to grab this thing as it's going over, we'll make it a strength contest to see. You'll still manage to grapple it, but we'll see whether or not you maintain your footing or if you're taken with it as it finishes its jump.
Right, because the grapple that it says it's the target is restrained and I can't bite another target, but I'm thinking this guy's too big for that. So I was wondering how it would.
Well, does it say
Would
a
part of
medium?
this-
Does it say specifically a medium target?
Doesn't. That's what I'm wondering.
Then
It doesn't
I'd
say a size at
Oh,
all.
because you're
It's just a
yeah,
regular
you're a large
crocodile.
creature. So a crocodile's the same size as this thing. So yeah, that's just King Kong and T-Rex.
All right, so then I'm going to turn into a crocodile.
Okay. So of course I don't have a crocodile handy. I don't think.
And I would start moving my way closer to my where my flaming sphere was.
Collide. I has crocodile.
Nice.
Okay, so what I will do is pull this up, and I will give you access to the character sheet in case you need to be able to see that.
Yes, I would like to be able to see.
Okay, there you go. You now have crocodile character sheet.
All right. And I'm just going to wait until this thing comes over to bite it. I guess I can't. I've used up all my actions.
Oh, okay, yeah, so if you don't have an action, so it'll be
That's
ready
my turn,
assuming it survives it. So with that being said, we get to our next turn, which is not going to go well for this thing, given everyone rung the alarm. So as it starts to leap back out again and sail over, I'll say, Jack, go ahead first. Make your attack roll with the ballista. So the ballista is a +6 to hit. And I think Jack has gone mute with the concept of the power of the ballista.
I've gone mad with power. Am I able to fire the ballista? I thought I had to use.
No, realistically, it's just too cool. and you've already had the ropes on it, so it's literally just
+6 to hit A. This certainly seems like a scenario where somebody who had a free nat 20 they could use would just do that maybe.
okay.
I mean, I think that seems like a thing we should do, right?
Definitely.
So
as it comes out, maybe only within earshot of the captain who's at the wheel, Jack is like, and then fires the ballista with this rope attached to it at this creature for a 26 to hit.
I don't think this is gonna matter, but I'm gonna have you roll it anyway. Yeah, it's literally just it. Oh no! No, it actually might matter. Roll 6d12.
Holy crap!
It's 3d.
Wow.
It's 3d12 for the ballista.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's,
Okay, well,
let's just
my
get out
idea seems stupid now.
Here's the tree of dice that I keep.
Ooh.
6. How many d12? Wait, what?
6d12.
Jesus.
Shiny click-clacks.
And it still might actually matter too. Oh boy.
With what it's got left. I'll explain it after.
Which the hell one is the d12? This one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Like I
And
said,
they
I
were
don't
all
think
one.
it will, but
I didn't do great, I'll tell you that. Oh no, I didn't do. Let's see. 10, 19.
how do you want to do this?
Hang on, I'm adding.
Gotta make sure it can't do its
Need
death
to know.
saving throws.
That's gonna be 39 points of damage.
Oh!
Gosh.
So Jack, how do you want to do this?
Oh, I'd like to think that let me just get a view of the ship here. Let's see. Where's that other mast? The other mast is right here, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So for sure, the Eye of the Tiger started playing inexplicably to everybody in the deck here. And as this thing like leaps over, Jack is like, and then fires the ballista, and the bolt with the rope attached to it just shoots through the center of this thing, and then proceeds to impale itself in the foremast there. So that there's just like a speared, whatever the hell this is, hanging from the foremast about 3 feet off the ground, with a rope attached to it leading back to where Jack is standing.
Nice.
Okay, and with that, one of our nat 20s has been used. And
It's okay, I got it.
Thank you.
There's a very disappointed crocodile on the deck of the ship now.
And with that, you are out of initiative. As you can see, a couple of the other crew members are now sort of looking up at the thing and sort of picking up the tail and looking at it. You can see little bits of fluid dripping off the tail. It looks to be blood on the tail, like it had impaled something. And it's just sort of hanging there. Crocodile looking up at it.
Yeah, just like that.
And you
Well,
I'm definitely going to sniff the tail, because this thing didn't hurt anybody. Why is it all bloody?
As you take a couple of, you definitely get the hints of scent of blood coming off of it. And also, as you sniff a little bit, you also get sort of an acritic smell. You think it may also be acidic or poison.
Okay.
But you
I would-
definitely, as you're looking at it, you can see little rivulets of red.
I would try to get it in the attention of one of my party members. I mean, point it over at the tail.
What is it, Lydia? Since I'm near.
I'm not Lydia. You're Lydia.
What does it appear?
Said
as
the
it's close
crocodile.
to her?
I would, snout point over, and snuff over at the tail.
Okay.
But if it gets too close, I would sort of back you off a little bit. But
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
start looking at the tail.
You can see blood on it as well.
Yeah. Like it used its tail on the. Oh wait, would there be spatter over here where it hit something?
You can make a perception check if you'd like.
Yes. I'll use my nat 20 and proceed that.
Okay, so we have our second nat 20 is used, and as you walk over, yeah, it's strange. There's a lot of blood on the ground. As you're looking there, you'd swear that Jack had fired a ballista through somebody right there. Like somebody got speared through their midsection and just bled out and died right there.
Oh.
But there's nothing
dear.
there. There's just blood.
There's nothing there. What if I start poking with my toe at the ground? Do I feel anything?
Feel wood, some blood.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic and see if
Okay.
I can see anything.
No, you don't see anything glowing.
Huh.
There may have been an incident where dogs were misbehaving in the other. What is happening right now?
So,
As I'm coming down from my ballista and approaching the area here.
So as Jack's coming down, you can see that the crocodile is sort of wildly gesturing with its snout towards the end of the tail. And as Lydia looks over and starts coming over, as you're walking down by there, and now William has come out of his hiding space and sees Lydia looking at the ground, there's a rather large pool of blood that none of you had noticed before. Whatever left this pool of blood, it's an awful lot of blood. You don't think they just sort of got up and walked away from this.
Something.
There's
Okay.
nothing magical there though, and I can't feel anything with my foot.
All of a sudden, a small creature runs over and grabs Jack and drags Jack away for a minute.
There we go.
There is a large crocodile ready to pounce. Furia's gonna sort of walk over to where you're looking and nudge Jack and then point upwards at the crow's nest.
Okay.
I
So,
heard point upwards at the crow's nest.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so Lydia, this massive crocodile that you just saw Furia change into a few moments ago sort of nudges you and looks up at the crow's nest.
Jack is confused by this.
Does anybody nearby have a hand crossbow that I can point to? I'm assuming.
I might
What
have
happened?
one on me.
Yeah, so if
I
Lydia
have a-
did, then I would.
Jack actually has that hand crossbow.
Yeah, she doesn't know that though.
I got a
but,
light crossbow, never mind.
but if it was out, then the crocodile
It's
would
like, I
sort of
assume
nudge
it's like
the-
on her belt or something like that. How,
It-
like,
Oh, if I
Yeah,
could see it, then I would.
Yeah,
I
probably
would.
hanging there.
I would hopefully notice that and sort of nudge it.
okay. Jack's sort of like,
So,
she's gonna move over towards where the thing is speared,
Okay.
and she'll pull out like her whatever the hell kind of knife sailors carry on.
Yeah.
And
Axe.
she's just gonna like gut the thing from stern to stem and see what's inside it.
Alrighty then. So as you watch as Jack does it, and William, are you standing right in front of this thing? William?
Sorry, I spaced out. What was your question?
And are you standing right in front of this creature as your sister comes up and you see her pulling out this knife and reaching up to basically open it from throat to navel to see what's inside it?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I mean, I'm covering my mouth with it.
Oh, all of a sudden is Jack reaches up to across this thing, and as you watch as things start to fall out, you see what appears to be a leather boot, an arm, and what appears to be a bit of, like, basically the top section of something's head.
is it black,
Got hair on it?
It's got some blonde hair on it.
blonde hair? It's not Muffin yet.
Jack, oh boy. Jack grabs the hair and holds up the, like, head chunk in the direction of, like, the longer standing crew. And she says, it is the hair color of someone in the crew. Who is this?
As you're saying that, as some of the crew have started to make their way back down, some have gone back to their post, and Captain's starting to walk over. She should hold that up and. Blonde? No, no. None of the 39 we left with had blonde hair.
Except Fabio. Is it Fabio?
She goes, yells downstairs,
Oh no!
and he comes slowly wandering up, and. Yes.
Oh, never mind. Go back downstairs, Fabio.
Okay. And says every now and then,
This is a.
I forgot. I forget about him all the time.
I know. It's so easy to.
I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. So I don't know. I don't know how much of this is information that I maybe in my head, and how much of this is like information that Jack is aware of. And I also don't know, what I think is happening. The knowledge of this, but that's not the right number of crew members that we left with, is it? Me, the player, thinks that's the case. I don't know if Jack, the character, is able to recall that based on the what's happening right now, I guess is the question.
I think Lydia would know how many people we left with, but
We left
Yep.
with more than that. We left with 40. I'm pretty sure.
So
Right, it was a 40 number.
for player knowledge, you left with 45.
5.
For character
45.
knowledge, Lydia and the captain are dead set certain that you left with 39. They've never had more than 39 plus. Well, 39 plus you.
oh,
Okay.
So just Lydia and the captain. So like our. So,
Well, no.
so
So,
as
so
players, Jack-
all of you know, all of you are aware that the number is what it is. So when the captain says it's 39, you just know that, okay, that sounds right. But
Okay.
as some of you, and I'll leave this, as some of you, as the characters are finding items that don't feel right. Crossbows where they shouldn't be. Supplies on beds where nobody sleeps. Where there are other people there.
this is confusing.
Have I ever heard any like old wives' tales or fishermen's stories or pirate tales of something that erases the memory of people after it like kills them?
Go ahead and everyone who wants to, as this conversation is I'll phrase it. While most of this is out of character for us, some of this is happening within your characters as people are starting to have questions now. So anyone who wants to can go ahead and make an intelligence or arcana check.
Okay.
16.
Holy hell, William.
Wow.
16 for Jack, not that it matters.
Yeah, I thought I was high with the 18.
Because William has the answers.
I got a 12.
I got a 4.
Artemis?
15.
Oh, okay. So, some of you have heard, tales of some things. Usually it's people that just go missing, though. You don't really hear many things of people's memories getting erased. William, you, on the other hand, have heard people talk about many different arcane creatures that have the ability to weave enchantments to alter people's minds. You don't know if, even with that role, you're not 100% sure if it's something specifically tied to people who die, or if it's just that they have the ability to wipe somebody's existence.
Would I know what these things are called?
The silence.
Whoa. Whoa.
There may be some that refer to them in that respect.
Okay.
Now, in terms of even with that role, most people who talk about these use, their old wives' tales. They call them hags. They call them sirens. They call them krakens, hydras. Usually, you hear about it when people are at sea, but whenever they're talking about it, they use one of the typical, it's a sea monster tale to it. With that, I would say you'd know that there are wizards who are capable of that. Which they could be on a boat, they could be in the water, on land. Any mage who's strong enough has the ability to alter people's minds. But to do it on a wide scale, it's very difficult.
You said it has wings? Looks like it can fly, theoretically.
This creature, yes.
Are any of
Okay.
the items in the stomach shiny either? Like from the magic?
As you're looking at it,
Yeah.
nothing is glowing from your detect magic.
Okay.
So I relay those rumors to the people right next to me about things that are able to make things not exist anymore.
Jack pulls out the crossbow that Crocodile Furia had been gesturing at. She says, I found this in the crow's nest last night. I did not know where it came from, and I have no memory of its owner. She
I
points at
found
the
a similar
wings.
one. I put a notch in it down below with a shirt on an empty bunk, a usually empty bunk. So maybe they're stowaways. Do we know?
If Gilam's rumors are true, and it is of this creature, to this, whatever it is, has been perhaps stalking the ship since who knows how long. My crossbow, your empty bunk, perhaps members of this crew that are victim, and we cannot remember them.
I'm pretty sure I'd remember me on crew.
As you say that, the captain looks over and chuckles. Considering most of us have been together for years now, I find it slightly unbelievable that we'd all forget about them so quickly.
Indeed.
She holds up the crossbow. She's holding. Who goes in that crow's nest where I have been with the initial H? What member of this crew?
The only two that go up there are typically you. And we have... I forgot his name.
Cliff.
No,
Seamus. That's what we were calling
Yeah,
him.
Seamus.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have my notebook.
He has an
for that.
actual name, but we
That
thoroughly
was, I
decided
think,
that we weren't
was
going
that,
to use it.
was that
It was
Hara,
Seamus.
or am I mixing him with...
No,
Hara's the shark guy.
Hara's the shark man.
Oh,
But-
okay. I forgot
But
his name.
Seamus was in the other's crow's nest.
Yeah, that's why. Seamus was in
Seamus
our
is the
first
other
course.
crow's
Captain says there's only two that go up there, you and Seamus.
Again, she holds the crossbow. Who is this?
I'm gonna start drawing in this pool of blood. I'm starting to spell out INIVIS. How do I?
Wow. In
As you're watching this crocodile try to spell out, it is literally like 2-year-old finger painting, as this thing is a massive paw.
I'm just hoping you get the message. That's all.
Oh, maybe I can. No, with detect magic, you can't see invisibility, right?
Let me see. I think it is on only things you can see, so I would say no. But let me just double
Okay.
check.
How much-
Okay.
Jack, she slaps her thigh real. She says, how much gold did we make off the wizard? Off the turtle from the mayor. How much gold?
I don't know. I wasn't here that session.
Jump back and see. Okay, so it was broken apart. What was it? 25, I think.
2,500.
Yeah, 2,500, I think.
Yep.
How much gold did we make? How much did each member of the crew take? Divide the numbers. How many crew members was that gold divided amongst?
13.
The captain sort of scratched his head. We paid everyone out, and it was 20,
21.
22, 21, 22
21.
each crew member.
What is the mass? How many crew members?
22 when it was said and done.
Okay, so it was. We said it was 2,000. No, that.
2,500.
2,500.
Yes, but as she's looking around.
The
No, it
math
was 1,000.
does not work, does it? The math doesn't work.
It was 1,000. Your numbers are off. She's looking very
I'm
pointedly
a
at the group.
crocodile, so I'm not actually here.
If we look at the 1,000 gold, and we take that by the 22 gold we paid to each person, and she starts thinking and doing the math out. That comes
It's
out
because,
to
Jack
45.
gave back his right.
Huh.
She
Which is-
spikes the crossbow on the ground. She's like, the numbers don't work. We are missing people.
And as the captain looks over, 39 plus, and gestures at you, 6 equals 45. It seems the math works to me.
Jack is gonna like look at her for a real long time, but not say anything further.
As you're staring at her and you're looking at her, you can see sort of almost like a confused look, like, why are you questioning me? I know my people.
Would I be on the captain's side, or would I know to insight check her? Or not?
I don't know.
Huh.
How uncomfortable with this is Lydia? What's Lydia's thoughts on this?
I'm pretty loyal to my captain, so I guess I wouldn't question her, but I'd be questioning why she was so confused about it. So I don't know what kind of check that would be, if that is a check.
I mean, Lydia should know that like the 6 of us got paid different, right?
Yeah, Lydia,
Most of
you
us of us.
know.
So like
Oh.
the math doesn't work, right? Am I incorrect here?
It's
I didn't know that we got paid differently, sorry.
that's right.
Oh, you
Lydia-
weren't here.
Yeah. So yeah, for player knowledge, you guys walked out of the contract, so to speak, with 2,500 gold.
Okay.
You all were paid, I believe it was 1,000 gold or 1,200. She broke up 1,200 between the group of you,
Oh, okay.
and then kept 300 for herself, and then broke 1,000 up between the crew.
Okay.
Now,
So that she then did like the 1,000 divided by out amount of 5, then re-added us into it, which is not correct.
Yeah.
There's people missing. Her math is incorrect, which Jack knows, and theoretically the players know.
Yeah.
I'd say the players, if the players did the math back out, yes, the players would definitely know that you are spot on in your thinking. Now, if
Okay.
Jack's making that connection, again,
She's
that's
definitely not
something
out. She's not outing the captain in front of the crew here, but she's
Yeah.
like, "Come on, like you do the math. You know this is wrong."
So, Lydia, if you want to make an insight check on the captain, I'll say go ahead.
Okay. Ooh. 13 plus 4.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So again, you get that same sort of sense that Jack is getting, that the captain is unsettled by this conversation. You knowing the captain for longer, though, you can tell that this is bothering her more than she's letting on. You get the impression that she is arguing this point more for the crew's benefit than anything else.
Okay.
As if to make sure that the crew feels everything is perfectly fine, there's no reason for alarm. But you get the feeling that she's unsettled about it about as much as Jack is just not showing that to the crew.
Alright, Captain, I believe you. You mean me and Jack should have a conversation later?
As that would be wise, preferably away from others. I wouldn't want to, especially not Clint after I smacked him around.
Or,
Jack is like, Lydia, it is kill him, and she switches to halfling to William. He's like, the math doesn't work out. This is. I don't remember these people, but your stories and the gold, it is not right. horrible. This creature, it is. She's very flustered by this whole thing.
And then Snow Moon steps up at this point. Says, Jack must be right. I don't remember any other members either, but this map
Listen, everything's fine. All we got to do is sort this out amongst ourselves, because we're the extra 6. And we'll discuss it later.
While this is happening, can Artemis kind of like creep up and see if there's like any distinguishing marks or tattoos or things or whatever on the arm?
Yeah, as you're looking at the arm looks somewhat fresh. Wouldn't guess it hasn't been in the stomach more than a day. And you see it's starting to be digested a little bit, but not much. Go ahead and make an investigation check as you're sort of, picking up and giving it the once over.
Okay. 19.
Oh, okay. So as you're going through and looking at it, you don't find anything hugely telling on it. You do see what looks to be like the palm of the hand, from what you can tell, is calloused. So you definitely know that this is someone that did work for a living. Now, it's not unreasonable to think work would have been on a ship. Hauling ropes and working with wood, different things like that. It's very plausible this person could have been a sailor.
Okay.
But nothing that's... You've basically got from about mid-bicep down, and there's nothing identifying that you can see on it.
Okay.
And as the party is looking and Artemis is examining this arm, this is where we'll call an end to tonight's session.
Ooh.
As our party is about a day's, just shy of a day's travel from their port of call in Caer Westfall, but seems to have found something else happening along the way. So, thank you very much for those who have hung out with us until the end. I noticed Sensible Boots, Cognition, Pay the Toll, Captain Mike in there for a bit. So thank you very much for hanging out with us. Make sure to join along next time. And don't forget when...
to nominate someone for
for a nat 20 before we go. Thank you. Yes,
And I would like to nominate Furia for trying to speak to us in alligator form.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a long-running trial because I'm going to be animals a lot.
She's tried to do it as a bear, and now as a crocodile.
Yeah.
And also because she missed being able to do anything. Just kind of turned into
I
a
was all
crocodile.
ready for the next round, and then it was over.
Then Ballista.
Oh.
That's right, Ballista, baby. I don't know if it matters. But my vote was for us. I do my weekly notes of like things that make me laugh. My vote would have gone my vote goes to Linen for the seabirds are beautiful tonight, which I just liked. I thought it was a fun. And then that crocodile gif that's in our Discord after after I killed the thing and figured I can get crocodile shtick.
Oh, Jesus.
So Linen is my vote for the evening.
Okay, so you gotta...
I also vote Furia for the crocodile. I think it would have been a really cool moment. And
Okay, well, it looks like Lennon is the vote that tips us to Furia. So, Kaplan, you will have the nat 20 next week.
Thanks, guys.
As we presumably make our way and arrive at Caer Westfall, depending on what happens with the party in this strange goings on that they have found. So remember, folks, as you're doing your math out again and again, and questioning your captain about the number of crew that she hired when you're pretty sure that at least 6 people are missing. You're never going to win that debate, but add your proficiency bonus anyway and try. Why not? We'll see you next week, folks.
Good night.